when selfie cameras first came out, there's duck face, that's what people used to do. And they're like, you know what? I want my face to look like 24/7.
Oh, I forgot my wallet.
I'm paying.
When
you say it like that,
no.
The topic of sex. Because if I get in the way, sometimes you get mad at me for no reason because you're on your period.
This week on Half Past Cha, I'm going to be asking Suketu some very interesting and strange questions that most women are way too afraid to ask men. And you're probably going to be surprised by some of his answers. I know I was. Now let's get into this Half Past crew.
Welcome to
Half Past Cha!
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Cha. We are so excited. My name is Suketu.
My name is Hallie.
And we're a married interracial couple. If you aren't watching the video, I'm Indian.
And I'm super duper white.
And we talk about being, guess what? An interracial couple.
What?
It's insane. We share our experiences, but we also share your experiences because you go to www.halfpastcha.com where you submit your questions and stories, and then we will go and ask each other the questions or talk about the story.
We'll answer them.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We'll answer the questions, and then we will also discuss what we would do in those situations.
Along with that, we touch on many other topics, and we have guests on, and we're starting to have more guests on, which is super exciting. So you should be excited for that.
We release new podcast episodes every Monday at 7 a.m. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast, follow the podcast and give us 5 stars. It helps the algorithm a lot. And if you follow, when we post, it gives you a little notification on your phone. And then boom, you watch the episode. So settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha.
If you guys haven't noticed, we're doing like the OG setup. Not like OG, because that was just kind of anywhere that we felt it would be fun. But we're only doing the one camera today. If you're watching the video, you can see that, obviously. But why is that?
It's to, prioritize myself, okay? I am putting so much pressure on trying to get these edits out in time and making sure at 7 a.m. you guys see this amazing podcast episode, okay? And I'm like, okay, I could film with 2 cameras and then cut, but who really cares? Do you care? Do you care? Because I don't care. And I'm just ready to sometimes have just one camera because all I have to do is not edit as long.
Well, then you can see both of our facial expressions too. And I think that's actually kind of fun. So I like it this way. I'm okay with doing it the other way. Just this way, we have to like sit a little
It's a little
differently.
awkward. We'll have to
But it's fine.
figure out, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm excited to do it this way once in a while. Okay, it's not an everyday thing, but once in a while when we got a lot going on, you will be seeing this kind of format.
Yeah, and when he says when we have a lot going on, it's just because we always have a lot going on. Not that any time is ever like a rest time for us. We always are on the go, or we're working our full-time jobs, or we're doing so many different things. And sometimes it can just be really hard to sit down and edit for however many hours at a time. Sometimes I do it, sometimes he does it, but it's exhausting. I mean, not that we don't love it, we do, but just with our schedules, we're trying sometimes to simplify the process and make it a little bit less time consuming.
We made a pact to not be as stressed, and so we're trying something different, okay? I'm just excited to not be as stressed. I'm so guys, I'm so chill right now. I'm so chill because I don't have to worry about splicing up the whole video.
Yeah, we've had a nice little Saturday.
A nice little Saturday. What is that from?
It's from Old School. If you guys have seen the movie Old School, basically Will Ferrell's at this frat party and he's like, "Hey man, are you gonna take a shot? Or are you gonna drink or whatever?" And he's like, "No, I actually told my wife I wouldn't drink tonight." And they're like, "What the heck? Why? Like, you're at a frat party?" And he goes, "Well, tomorrow my wife and I got a nice little Saturday planned. We're gonna go to the Home Depot. We might go," I can't remember where else he says, but he's like, "We're going to try and fit everything in, but I don't know if we have enough time." And they just look at him like he's crazy. It's just really funny.
That is the epitome of marriage. So
it is.
I do want to get started with some questions that Hallie has for me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited.
I'm going to be honest. I'm really excited for this because I planned this and you have no idea what I'm going to ask you. And I know that your answers are going to be very funny and very clip worthy, and I think people will have a good time because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him questions, quote, that women are too afraid to ask men, which I guess if you don't know somebody that well, you don't want to ask these questions. Like, I'm not going to go up to just a random guy and be like asking some of these on here. But because I'm comfortable with you, obviously I'm going to ask them, and you're going to give me some good answers. And you might be a little biased because we've been in a relationship for a little while, but also think back to times when you were single. That's what some of these questions apply to. So if you're a guy, I want you to think about this. Comment down below some of your answers to these because this is going to be a good time. So
I'm excited.
with that, we're going to start off with a little gentle one. All right. And they start to get more aggressive as we go. Number 1, who should pay for the first date?
It depends on who scheduled it. So like if you asked me on a date, then you should pay for the date. But like me being me, I'd probably pay. Like the guy should pay, but
Well, you're contradicting yourself.
no, the guy should pay. But if the woman is the one asking him out, there should be a little play there. You should at least offer.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, of course. 100%.
Like if I ask you out?
Yeah, if you ask me, you gotta offer, pay. You kidding me?
Do you think just think nowadays, like, do you think women are making the first move or men are making the first move?
Men. Oh, fun fact: Bumble just started allowing men to respond first,
or to reach out.
reach out first, but only with a particular set of responses, because quote, women were tired of initiating the conversation. There had been so many people like that, or there had been a survey sent out, and women were 80% of women were said that they were tired of initiating the conversation first, but they still wanted control on how the conversation started. So they added like prompts, like you can only ask these 4 questions to start the conversation. So I do think, women usually don't like to initiate as much as men would. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
So, okay, just to make this clear for everybody, to summarize, if we're not married, all right, picture we're not together, horrible, sad, awful, depressing times. I know. I'm like, hey, do you want to go on a date with?
Yeah, if you asked, I'm there.
And so, okay, say we're on the date, and I'm like, oh, I forgot my wallet.
I'm paying.
When
you say it like that.
No, oh my God. I'm not trying to be all sexual when I say it, but like, I guess if I did say it like that, then you'd be more inclined to pay.
Yeah. I don't even care. I don't even look at the bill.
Wow. Okay. So that leads into my next question. As a man, is sex always on your mind?
It's a great question.
It is.
I would say, not speaking for myself. This is not me. This is not my answer.
Why are you sweating?
This is like a generalization of all men. I would say 99% of men, yes.
Okay, so
it is what they're thinking about, but I do think there's some good people out there like myself who don't think about it all the time. Okay.
So my number 1 question to that is why?
Why?
Why is that
I think
all men think about?
I think men are just programmed differently. There are, I think that we have a different cycle than women do. Like women have,
women have a cycle, all
women
right.
literally have a cycle, whereas men have a much shorter cycle. I would say a 24-hour cycle where the next day it's a brand new day. Does that make sense?
Well, obviously, yes. You wake up and it is a new day.
Like I'm trying to explain it. Like throughout the month, you have different moods, cycles, and everything is.
I have different moods.
It's different. Every week is different for you. This is my perspective, everybody. Don't get. I'm getting a little nervous. Okay, but anyways, as a man, we reset every night, and we're like back to normal. Okay, so like when it comes to thinking about the topic of sex,
Why are you getting all nervous when you say it? You can say it.
I think that
is it because we're on YouTube?
I think it's because I think it's common for us to just think about it because we have this like cycle in
You
our
think
brain.
it's like instinctual?
It's just instinctual. It has to be.
So if I go talk to a guy, maybe he's
They're thinking
single.
about it. They're thinking about it.
Seriously?
They're thinking about it.
Why?
At least it's come up in their brain. It might not like be. See,
But the thought has popped
The
up.
thought definitely like, but not to say like if I go up to somebody, that is not something I think about. So like I'm not saying it happens to everyone. Okay. I reclaim some. I take it back a notch. I think that it can pop up depending on what the situation is. If you go up to them and they don't, I don't know, they like you go up to them and like talk all different, talking the way you talk, then I don't know what they're going to think. Okay. This is
a visual representation of what you're doing.
I know.
You're digging
I know.
yourself in a hole.
And so like, I don't know how to explain it, but I do think that, yeah, they definitely, if you go to a random person, they've thought about it.
You're kind of diverting the question that I originally asked away from you because you don't want to answer it.
No. I think they do think about it.
They?
Yeah, I think the
Men?
Yeah, the men.
Yeah.
The men think about it.
It's just
sure.
a thing. Like it's
common. It's gotta be. Like, please comment. I want to know. Like, am I just the only one that has this perspective? Because from my perspective, I've had conversations with a few friends and people I know that are men, and it just it comes up. It comes up.
So the biggest thing that my dad always said, he would be like, "Oh, I know what guys think. I know what guys think." Blah, blah, blah. Or not, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to diss, but I'm just saying like he would always say that. And like you even say that too.
Yeah.
Like if I talk
know.
to a guy that you don't know or something, you'll be like, well, no, okay, that's a bad example. You don't do that. Just in general, like you're always like, oh, well, I know how guys think. I know what goes on in a guy's brain.
And that's a bad thing to say because that means like I would think something like that because I've thought that in the past. I don't fully agree with that as much as I used to. I think it's not as bad as I make it out to be sometimes.
Some people are pure
Yeah.
and sweet,
Exactly. I agree.
but there are people out there.
Yes. 100%. I'd say majority.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Majority would. Yeah.
Majority would say that they're in the mood all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Prior to meeting me and know that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with me, was marriage something that you often thought about?
Before meeting you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Before meeting you?
Yeah.
Like before having a conversation with you?
Like before we started dating and then knowing that you wanted to marry me.
Yeah.
Is that something that you thought about a lot? And what was your vision of that?
Well, the thing with me is I never even had the concept of asking somebody out if I didn't think I was going to marry them.
Oh, okay.
Like if I couldn't think about them being with me forever, then I probably would not pursue them.
So you had one girlfriend before me. Did you think you were going to marry her?
Well, great question.
It is a great question.
At the time, I was probably pretty naive, and I thought that, yes. So
So were you naive thinking that you were dating me and that you wanted to marry me?
no. How about
How is
you're
it
putting
different?
words into my mouth? That
How
I
is
didn't
it
say.
different? No, you're saying all these words. How is that different?
I think that you are manipulating me right now,
I'm literally not.
but I get what you're
Just
saying.
because you're
So
a guy, I want to hear your perspective.
when I'm like really enjoying my time with you, I was like, this is it. And then I started imagining things. I'm like, okay, then if we get married, this is the situation. This would happen. Like all these things would, like I would think about them because of the situation I was in, which is, like I was afraid to be with somebody who wasn't my culture. So I was
that's a biggie.
I thought about that before. That's why I thought about it so much, though, is because I'm like, okay, what kind of situation would I be put in if this were to go forward? So that's why I thought about it.
It's a very interesting perspective. Yeah, I mean, I get why you would think about it a lot, but yeah, I guess I don't know how many men out there do you think date to marry? There are different reasons for dating.
I think Not that. I mean, I don't know. I think it's okay to do that. I think it's also okay not to do that. But I wouldn't say it's like, I wouldn't say anybody's like dating and then they're like, this isn't.
But people just like to have fun.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
So, like,
a lot of people that I know.
Most people, I would say, in their 20s in their 20s would just date to date. They don't like want to move forward fast. I think that's just a new trend nowadays. Most people don't get married when we got married. Most people get married when they're 30 nowadays.
Yeah. So do you think it's an age thing? Do you think maybe say people in their 30s are dating to marry or not?
People in their 30s
or 40s or however old.
People who are older definitely are more likely to date to marry. They're not going to mess around. They're like, I don't got time. I got to get kids. And so usually if you're 30, you're on a clock. As a woman, you're on a clock. So you got to, if you want kids, you got to make the decision on who your partner's going to be forever.
Oh, that's a good point to bring up. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it does vary from the different age groups. Definitely. I know more people in their 20s that are kind of dating around just to have fun, or not even officially dating, just kind of casually seeing people. But it definitely does, from my perspective, change as you get older. There are still some people in their 30s that are messing around, and that's, if that's what they want, that's great. But
yeah,
I guess we just aren't that way. We're from the Midwest, and we got married young, and that's just what it is. Next question. Why do guys ghost?
Why do guys ghost?
Have you ever ghosted anyone?
I don't think so.
Have you been ghosted?
No. Maybe by people from Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, well,
when I'm trying to sell something, I'll be like, okay, I'll meet you here, and I meet them there, and they're not there. So that's happened once before.
That's sketch.
Yeah, I don't know. Why do men ghost? I think they're scared of commitment. A lot of men are scared of commitment because they're like, I don't want to be tied down to one thing for no particular reason. I don't know. But I think that's one main reason.
Were you afraid of that?
Of being tied down?
Yeah.
No, not at all, actually. No. Never afraid of being tied down because I enjoyed, I think I moved too fast anyways.
You do. Well, that leads into one of my other questions, actually. And I was going to ask, do you think that because you're in a committed relationship with me that you don't have freedom and that you've been tied down? Or do you feel like you've missed out on any opportunities since we've been together?
No, I didn't miss out on any opportunity.
But some people would see it that way. You know what I mean?
That. People are afraid, like, if they're with one person forever, then they're like, oh, but what if I have another, like, what if there was somebody else out there who is a better match for me? Usually this happens after, like, a fight, or somebody's like having a midlife crisis or quarter life crisis, and they're like, I'm just not in love with you anymore, which I think is dumb. But I think that needs to be like, you need to go talk to somebody, have some therapy, maybe like talk it through, make sure it's the right decision. Maybe this person isn't for you, and that's fine.
Can you imagine why people would say that they feel like they imagine a couple in our situation that has been together since high school, and let's say 4 years later, when they've graduated college or whatever, and they're adulting in the real world, and they're like, oh, I've missed out on so many opportunities because of you, and they start to resent their significant other.
Yeah, that happens. I haven't seen it, I guess, in person, but I've heard about it. And when that happens, I think it's just all about maturity. I think people who do that are a bit immature. Like they're afraid of commitment. They're a little bit immature. They don't want to take responsibility and own up to, hey, I just don't want to be with you because I want to mess around a little bit. I'm just being honest. I think that's the truth. So that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, and I think, again, if that's what you want in life, if you want to mess around with people and be in different relationships or not be in relationships, whatever floats your boat, do it. But be honest. Be honest. It's not fair to not tell somebody that, like, especially in the situation that I described, if you're with somebody and you start to resent them and say, oh, I missed out on so many opportunities because of you, then maybe you shouldn't be together. Like, don't continue to resent that person or make things miserable in your relationship. Yeah, it's a very interesting perspective. But again, you do you. We've been together for 9 years.
That's
9 years in
long
October.
time.
It'll be 10 years, October of 2025.
That is a long time.
Do you feel like you've missed out on any
No.
opportunities whatsoever?
Nothing. I feel like I missed out on opportunities when I wasn't with you
What does that mean?
because like I'd rather share my experiences with someone I love rather than doing myself. There's some things that I like doing by myself, but usually it's not like big life things.
Yeah, I would agree to that point. It's so much sweeter in life when you get to share your victories with somebody that you love.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Especially because we do so much together.
Yeah, yes, we literally do everything together.
Like running, photography, our business, building our business.
And it's so much fun. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, though. It's not always easy. Like, it can be really hard doing things together.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like,
But we've been through it all. Like we had a job, we had like a actual job together, which was not fun for Hallie. And then we had,
yeah, why was that not fun for me?
because I was the golden child.
Yeah, like you,
And so-
people did not like me as much as they liked you, and it was very clear.
Tough luck. So I was like, we've been in a lot of situations where we had to work together. And I think we've passed a lot of the bad stuff, which it
Yeah.
just takes time.
Well, we learned how to work together better.
better way to say it.
And because we both have a little bit different working styles, like I don't want to say I'm more uptight, but like I'm kind of strict about how I want to do things, and like I have a good creative vision, and I like to at least execute it and like see how things work. And if it doesn't work, then I'm open to trying different things. But like the biggest thing was just learning how to make our working styles work together. And we did a podcast episode on this quite some time back about the struggles of working together and how hard it can be. And a lot of people always ask us like, oh my gosh, you guys do so many things together. How do you guys work together and make it work? And they're like, oh, I would hate my significant other. It would be so hard. We could never work together. But I think we've just learned over time and gotten so much exposure and experience in doing that we've been able to figure it out and make it work for us.
I agree.
I'm really excited to ask you this question because it's really funny because we talk about it all the time. And I hope you answer how I have it in my head, how we talk about this. Do men actually like lip fillers on women?
No. Oh my God, no. Goodness gracious. I have a lot to say about this. Women, okay, this might, I don't know.
Be controversial.
When it comes to, lip fillers in particular, I think they're doing it for themselves. I get it. But at the same time, you know what I'm going to say?
Please say it.
They look like porn star lips. And I don't know about you, but that's not attractive. I don't know. It's
you
not.
don't find it attractive.
It's looks like you look like a little bit of a duck. It's not very nice. You know, when like back in the day and like when selfie cameras first came out, there's duck face. Like doing that. And so like I'm just like I'm like, yeah, that's what people used to do. And they're like, you know what? I want my face to look like 24/7. Why? Why would you want that? I don't know.
Well, and I understand, like, there are quite a few things I would change about myself. And I think if it makes that person feel better, then they should do it.
Yeah, why not? You can look like a duck face 24/7.
Oh my God. Like, okay, but I'm not even gonna lie. You've pointed out to me so many times different women that get lip filler and you're like, oh, porn star lips. And then I can't unsee it. Like one of my favorite podcasts, you're like, oh, she has porn star lips.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And I can't help but laugh every time.
Because the problem is it is so obvious, and it makes sense because if you're gonna pay, might as well make it obvious. And so like it's out there. But I don't know. That's my opinion. I also have like I love when you don't wear too much makeup. And I know you get comments about it too, like, oh my God, Hallie looks amazing without makeup. It's because you do look really good without makeup, but I understand the makeup piece of things. Confidence is important. If makeup makes you feel confident, that's amazing. Do it. Same with lip fillers. If it makes you feel confident, do it. I'll try not to make fun of you, but it's probably going to happen.
He's probably going to tell you that you have porn star lips.
Yeah.
That was actually one of my other questions, and you kind of answered it. But is it more or less attractive when a woman wears makeup or like a lot of makeup?
I think okay, so a lot of makeup, like if you can tell like they're caked, their face is like freaking makeup all over. I think a lot of men will find that unattractive. A lot of men.
But it was such a trend back in like 2014, 15,
Yes.
16 to wear heavy makeup.
Yeah.
I was never there because I did not care about anything and I never wore makeup.
Yeah. So I don't take my word for it. I go ask a man, but most of them would rather you not wear a ton of makeup.
Like on me, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, not a ton of makeup. You can do whatever you want, but not like if I touch your face like this, then you get mad at me. So like that's the other thing is like
I hate
like
when you touch my chin.
I like to touch
your fingers
face
are
like that
dirty.
sometimes. And so when
Fingers be
when
dirty.
you have makeup on, you absolutely no, that is no go. Cannot touch your face.
Well, like don't touch my face at all.
Okay.
With your dirty little paws, your
got
dirty
dirty
little
little paws, I
fingertips.
guess.
Yes. Yeah, you're always picking your nose and
all right.
picking your wedgies.
I'm
and
not.
like all. you're a very interesting individual. But yeah, I can speak to the makeup piece because I will say. So, and you've told me this many times. Back when we started dating, you're like, oh, you didn't care about it. The most viral clip on our Instagram right now. What were we talking about?
I said when I first met you, like you
Oh,
didn't
I
care
know,
about
just-
the way anyone.
I didn't
thought
care
of
about the way I looked,
Yes.
or I didn't care about myself,
Yeah.
basically, is like the gist of it. And it's actually kind of true. I mean, I was kind of shocked at the way that you said that, but I understand as well because I really didn't. I didn't care about what anybody thought. I want to channel that Hallie now. That's why I'm trying to become more stress-free. I'm like, I want to be high school Hallie. I'm going to try and do that. It was great. It was a great time. But I didn't like I think the only thing I did was put concealer under my eyes. If I had a zit, I'd cover it up, and then I put a little bit of mascara on, and that was like all I did. I didn't even fill my eyebrows in. My gosh. Now if I
Which
don't
is
do
fine, everybody.
but
it's
now,
okay.
but for me personally, now if I don't do that, I feel so self-conscious. Like there was one wedding we did where I kept like I was holding my camera up to my eye and I didn't have it was like it wasn't a waterproof eye pen or eyebrow pen. And I felt so self-conscious because it wiped some of it off and I was like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. And they literally weren't. Sorry, my nose is like really dry and itchy.
I have something to say about that. I don't think people realize that most these small little things most people don't notice. Maybe women might notice. Please,
Yeah.
if you're a woman, comment. Do you notice when something is wrong with another woman's face?
Like, do you check out other women's makeup? Because I do. I like to look and see what's going on. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can learn some things.
every guy in the world is not looking at that.
Yeah, guys don't.
So.
Well, because like you don't use product or makeup, right?
No.
So like you don't really care. I swear and it's really sweet that you do this, but I don't see it because I feel like I look like a monster before I go to bed or when I wake up. You're like, oh, you look like you tell me how beautiful I look.
Yeah.
And I love that you do that, but I don't believe you. So I'm like, I don't believe you. No, I don't say it like that, but I do not feel beautiful. Like, and I want to give an example. Like right now I'm wearing very minimal makeup. Like I filled in my eyebrows. I have concealer under my eyes. I did mascara and I think I did maybe like a smidge bit of bronzer, just a little bit. Like that's very minimal. Like if I'm going out fancy, then I'll put like foundation. I'll do lots of things. I did not do that today because I didn't feel like it. But that's the bare minimum that I need to do to feel confident in myself because otherwise we did a video like 2 weeks ago. It was a chai thought. And posted it, and there were a lot of people that were like, oh, you're so much prettier without makeup. So am I doing something wrong? Like, I'm genuinely confused.
No, I think men just like natural. I
think
that's just
so,
my
too.
perspective, I guess. But I want you to do what makes you confident. Don't just because you got a comment.
But at the
doesn't mean
same
anything.
time, I don't put that much makeup on. I would say the only difference if I do and don't wear makeup is how my eyebrows look very light because they're like a kind of light brown color. And so that's the main difference. I'm not doing anything crazy in my makeup. So it makes me wonder, like, am I doing something wrong?
No.
Like, what's the deal? I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not, but like, what are people thinking?
I guess they'll have to comment.
Yeah, please let me know if I should or shouldn't wear makeup. I'm going to do whatever I want regardless, but let me know your thoughts. Next question. Is it important for your partner to have been a virgin prior to dating?
No, because that's in the past. But I see why that's important to a lot of other people.
Would it bother you if I had slept with somebody before we got
I think I'd
married,
think about it. I'd be
dating?
like, it would be like, oh wow, she's done this with somebody else. Like that, I would think about it once or twice, and then it probably most likely that would go away.
Really? It wouldn't be in the back, like you wouldn't
It
be
might be in
comparing
the back
yourself.
of my head.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people go through that. Like at the end of the day, you kind of have to, if you love the person, you got to get over it. So that's my perspective on it.
A lot of people obsess over it though, and are like frustrated and like
Well-
are constantly comparing themselves to like who their previous partners have been.
That's not good. That's going to bring both of you down, and it's probably not going to end well.
That's definitely, I would say, an immaturity thing because like you can't control in the past what your significant other did in the past.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do.
And if you're going to let it fester and bother you, then that's definitely an issue that you have to work out on your own. Next question. What is the most attractive feature on a woman?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, this is a great question. I mean, it could be multiple things. For me, specifically for me, it's the face in terms of eyes and your nose. Like those two features, that's the first thing I noticed is eyes and nose. I don't know what it is. It's because I have a big nose that I like small noses. And Hallie has a small nose.
I got a
it's
cute
also
little
like,
nose.
It's also like perfectly like just a little bit up, you know, like if anybody's watched Bewitched, where they do the little nose thing. Anyways, I have a big nose, and it's not very, you know, what's it called when it's like, anyways.
Profile? Your side
Yeah,
profile?
my profile is not the best, and so that's something I was
disagree.
like, I like that. And then I have brown eyes, and
I love
brown
your
eyes is
brown
like the most common color. So I'm like, anything that isn't brown, that's a plus.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Hallie has green eyes, which is the most the most uncommon color.
It's like 2% of the world, I think.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I
And
do have.
That's a plus. And that's my PG answer. In terms of
You don't know?
features, like body features, I would still say face.
Really? He's winking at the camera.
Anyways, that's my answer to that.
So you wouldn't like if I got porn star lips?
No, I don't think that's
What if-
one thing
no,
I would be
What
like.
if I looked like this?
Yeah, no,
Yes,
I don't.
okay too. What if I'm like, come here, baby, give me a kiss?
Oh my god, I don't know if I could. I don't know. Nope. It just, I don't know. That's just my perspective. That's just me. Like I have a preference on that, and that is a no-go for me. No go.
Interesting. Good to know. I guess I won't be doing that anytime in the future.
Thank God.
But when you point it out to me, you know, I don't usually think twice about it if a woman gets lip injections, right? Like, you do you, I don't care. But then when you point it out, I like can't unsee it, and I can't unhear you saying, "Oh, yep, those are porn star lips."
Yep. I mean, I bet there's ways to do it right. I bet you like for some people who have like really small lips and they would just want a little bit more lip, and there's ways to do it right. But the issue is, okay, we're getting back into the lip thing. I don't want to talk about the lip thing anymore, but the issue is that it's overdone.
Wait, so okay, I do have a really quick question about the lip thing. So I use a lip gloss that makes my
it-
lip more voluminous.
fine. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine?
Yeah, because it's not like you're not puckered up like ugh. So
Oh my god, you and I can't with you, honestly. How do you feel about periods?
it's the end of a sentence. They're great.
Oh my gosh. Answer the question.
I'm kidding. I would say they're things that men have to figure out, you know? It's hard. It's hard being a man.
Oh, it's hard.
hard.
Shut up. Oh my god.
It is hard dealing with all of that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get
What, you have to
canceled.
deal with me being on my period and that's hard for you? Oh,
I'm kidding.
boo-hoo.
I think it's a responsibility for a man to take care of you during that week.
Yeah, and what do you do?
I make sure you're taken care of.
Like, what do you do for me that I do this? I still do the things I normally do, but
I-
God forbid if you're sick, it's the end of the world.
I try and stay out of the way. That's what I do. Because if I get in the way, sometimes you get mad at me for no reason because you're on your period. I'm kidding. your reaction is making me feel like I'm kidding. So I'm kidding. Right? Am I wrong? Is this right?
Visual representation of you digging yourself in a hole. You are insane.
So-
you could never deal with what my periods are like.
No, I completely understand. I'm 100% kidding, everyone.
Are you?
I do.
What do you do for me?
I make sure that you are taken care of. Okay, I do.
You could take care of me better.
Okay,
A lot better.
What can I do? What can
First off, you could get me some flowers
I do? Okay, I'll get you
to
flowers.
brighten up the kitchen.
I
I'd love that.
usually try and do that.
When was these flowers here from my mom?
Okay, that's because
And she said, I quote, because I know that you love flowers in your kitchen. When was the last time you bought me flowers? Valentine's Day? That was like 3 months
no
ago.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
Okay, well, it was maybe March. Either way,
I did buy you in March,
not April.
not April. My fault, everybody. I'll get them in May, and it's May now. So
Oh,
you're
well,
getting
I already
flowers.
have flowers.
You get more. You get 3 vases. How about that? Not one.
I mean, I can
2,
deal with that.
3,
Can we just up that a little bit, round up to 5?
4, 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's getting a bit much.
So
but-
for starters, you could do that because it would brighten my mood.
okay,
Second of all, you could be nice to me instead of bossing me around and
I'm not-
expecting me.
I do not boss you around.
You'll be like, Hallie, why is the giant not made?
No,
Hallie.
No. What have I been doing? The
Hallie,
last few
did you
days?
make my lunch for tomorrow?
What have I been doing for?
Hallie, what's for dinner? I'm so hungry.
Okay, I'll just be quiet.
Okay, that was a little dramatic. I'm not going to lie. Everything that I said was a little bit excessive, but it would be nice if sometimes you took things off my plate when I'm on my period, because the first 2 days, I've got really bad
and I
abdominal
know.
cramps.
I make sure
Oh, you know.
I give you massage. Oh my gosh.
You do,
I get the heating pad. I do all those things to make sure you're okay. Okay. Sometimes you forget that I do things.
Sometimes you forget that I do things.
All right.
This is a constant battle, a constant struggle.
You're getting to
In
see
marriage.
the real us right now.
I mean, I feel
You
like we're
always see the real us.
Yeah, I was
but-
going to say, come on. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not on my period right now, so I will write down a list of things that
Okay.
I want next period.
Checklist.
A little checklist. Maybe like some Jenny's ice cream.
We should make a whole episode on how to take care of your significant other while they're on their period.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That can help. Yeah. Last question. How are you going to be a supportive husband to me while I am pregnant?
Woo!
Surprise! Just kidding. Not pregnant.
I think it's gonna be pretty easy being a supportive husband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
But how are
tend to your needs. Okay, you won't have to touch the doorknob. You're not gonna have to worry about anything in terms of carrying things. I'll carry. We go to the grocery store, get a million groceries. I'm carrying all those bags in. You don't even gotta help. All you gotta do is go inside, sit down, relax. I'm going to make sure that we get some food once in a while so you don't have to cook, or I'll cook. I'll try and make you some PB&Js, grilled cheese sandwiches, something else that includes sandwiches. I know how to do that. So that's what you have to look forward to. Are you excited?
Oh boy, I cannot wait.
I'm excited.
I asked this question because I know quite a few people who are pregnant right now in their relationships, marriages, and I see the husband taking such diligent care
Yeah.
of his woman.
And you don't think I will?
I don't know. I've never been pregnant before, so I don't really know what to expect.
You think I don't take diligent care of you right now?
No.
Oh, that's surprising to me.
I mean, there are some days where you're nicer than others, but I mean, and this is an excuse because we both can be better at it, but we both get wrapped up in like everything. But then again, this goes back to not being stressed and not caring,
Yep.
and nothing matters as much as you think it does. So we're trying to live and apply that to our lifestyle currently. So we're getting better at it. And honestly, yesterday evening and then today all day, we've been doing that, and it's been great.
It's been really nice.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I want like maybe a foot massage
you
because
can get that. Yep. I'm
pregnant
really good
women
at
have
foot
swollen
massage. Yep.
feet.
Yeah, that happens.
You're going to be learning how to cook by then, so you'll know how to do things.
More than a sandwich?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a hard one.
That's why I'm not getting pregnant anytime soon.
Okay.
At least that's the plan.
That's the plan. That's
Yeah.
going to be the plan.
Yeah. If we had a baby tomorrow, would you be
I'd
excited?
be fine, but I would be a little freaked out.
You'd be a little freaked out?
You'd be freaked out.
I'd be freaked out. I think I'd be more freaked out than you
Yeah, for sure.
because,
You have to carry the thing for 9 months.
yeah, a lot happens to my body during that time.
Yeah.
That's what stresses me out. That, and I've heard a lot of, I'm sure everybody has heard lots of
Horror stories.
horror stories of the birthing process and just all of those things. And I think that scares me the most.
Yeah.
Because I think I'll look kind of cute when I'm pregnant. I've said that a lot, and I think it's true. Maybe I won't feel cute.
Yeah.
Probably not going to, because I can just envision. I already feel self-conscious about myself now. I can't imagine having a baby and my stomach just gets bigger and I can't help it. I have issues. I have a lot of body image issues, so I think that would be really tough for me.
But I'll be taking care of you, so you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there?
Mm-hmm.
You better be.
I
What if you're one of those guys? What if, like,
that I freak out and,
Yeah.
and don't, and I'm scared.
and you don't love me anymore and you're like,
That won't happen.
that happens?
That won't
Have you
happen.
been on Reddit?
That will
It happens.
Not. That will not happen.
There have been so many TikToks where I've seen where it's like a post on Reddit specifically, and it'll be like, I'm just not attracted to my wife anymore. Like, I thought I wanted a baby, but I'm not attracted to her anymore. And I often visualize being with other women.
That sucks.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's
There's
heartbreaking.
no physical way that could happen.
Because a woman needs you during her
Yeah.
pregnancy because it's so hard.
Isolating. It's an
Yeah.
isolating experience because it's like it's you and you can't do a lot of things and
Well, and especially postpartum too. Like, you need to be there for her because postpartum depression is a very real thing.
yeah.
And your whole life is changing. I mean, you're essentially mourning the life that you used to have when it's just us two. Like, that's going to be a crazy thing when it's not just us two anymore.
Yeah.
And suddenly you come home from the hospital with a baby.
I know.
See, this is what stresses me out, people.
I think that's the big thing is like we can't just leave the house whenever we want. We have to like think about it.
Yeah.
Like with Sylvie, our cat,
Oh,
we just leave and she's fine. She roams the house. She's the queen of the castle at the time. And so
at the time, no, she is always
Okay.
queen of the castle.
all the time. Yeah.
We just need to clear that up right now.
But yeah, no, that's a good question. These were really good questions.
Yeah, that was all I had. So I thought they were pretty good too. Thank you for giving your honest opinion as a man.
You're welcome. I hope you all enjoyed that very honest answers.
Yeah, you're like an open book today.
An open book.
Yeah, I think
All
maybe we
open.
should do this. I think maybe you should do this, but like reverse. We'll do that maybe a few episodes down the line.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, just to get, a woman's perspective. Little magical touch. The woman's touch. That didn't make any sense whatsoever, but that is all we had for you this week, Half Past Crew. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a wonderful little episode of me asking my husband questions that women are too afraid to ask men.
It was great. As a reminder, make sure you go to www.halfpastshot.com to submit your own questions and stories. The next episode will feature at least 3 questions, so we're very excited to answer those. We love you, Half Past Crew. Thank you for your support. We are so excited to continue growing this podcast and this community. Make sure you join the Discord if you want to come chat with us. We will see you next Monday at Half Past Shot.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Oh, not a butt sock. Not a butt sock.
Darbutt sock.
Do it with a upper tone.
Darbutt sock.
Okay, let's harmonize.
Darbutt sock.
Okay, let's
You
try
didn't
again.
need to go lower.
Darbutt sock. Darbutt sock. That was pretty good.
We used to do that all the time when we were dating. Do you remember? We'd be like, okay, let's harmonize and go.
I love it. Wait, let's try that. We did it. Did you see that? That was so good.